Eyes on this. You can see the big rotate there. All players pushing right round the flag, but going down is going to be SPLYCE. Slacked and Classic looking very strong here.
Gets two as well. Now, unfortunately, they can't get through. They managed to get one. It's only Classic. Classic gets active camera. It's going to wear off in time, and they get shut down. Every single member of SPLYCE had to combine to make that one.
Unrated. Brilliant play there. Denies that 2-point capture.
Vance is playing so well so far. Can he continue this on as they look to get even more points on the board? They have managed to get it. We're actually going to see a Tempest come out as well now. They're trying to push forward, not quite able to. Vance is heavily down as Looney gets 3. That's a big 3-piece coming in from there. Just in Octane's 9 and 21. He's really not having fun in the slaying game this time around.
Not at all, and that's very unusual to see for Octane there. He has managed to pick up 2 though, trying to find his way back into this. And look at this big push, less than a minute on the clock, but still time. Looney with that uplink drone in hand, he needs to make this.
He's trying to hit somebody.
He's got to make it, he can't slip. And that is bad news for Rise. This could be where they fall down now. Vance just trying to keep hold of this. You can see he's playing the time down, he's using the clock. He's just keeping hold of it as long as he can.
On the house? I imagine that's where he's going.
Oh, Vance, he's doing what needs to be done for his team. Look at this now.
No, Vance, no! That needs to go out, that needs to go out! And they have managed to. Joe comes in clutch to get it, and that should be game. It should be.
Keep an eye on it. There's still technically time for this to happen. Looney with the pass. It's a manual one.
He's right next to him. Slack's trying to get it. No! Denied at the last second, and that's going to be cleared out. Vance says thank you for the drone, and thank you for the map. Vance with a phenomenal performance of 24 and 11.
Wow.
SPLYCE take it to Rise, and they lead for the first time in this series, 2-1.
They call Bounce the NA Slayer, and I think people are starting to see why it could be happening again, as now we see SPLYCE just 1 map away from a 3-1 victory against Rise. There's going to be capture the flag next, of course, and things may be very different on that, but let's just break that game down a little bit, Bryce. There was one thing that swayed that in SPLYCE's favour, and that was the team kill. The frag grenade.
Twice it happened.
It happened, but the first time it happened, it completely opened things up, and they relayed the uplink drone. They got 4 points off the back of it. And it was purely down to that they've won. They won by a margin of 3. It could have been a completely different story, and it's just a simple mistake like that that can really cost the team.
Now, so there's a common saying in Europe is that you cannot make mistakes against North American teams because you get punished severely for them. But this is a North American team making a few mistakes against the likes of SPLYCE. But SPLYCE just had the slaying down. You could see they just every single time they were able to shut them down, and that's not something I was expecting coming into this.
No.
I think that's the reason I was so shocked by how this game actually went. I gave this to Rise before the game. But you know what? They were being outslayed. You saw Batters just absolutely tearing through people. He was using the XR2. They had a lot of pressure from the HVKs, and they were winning those fights, especially long range. Like I said, those first controls, if they're aggressive, it's going to throw those XR2s off, and that's exactly what they were. They were consistently putting the pressure on.
Yep.
Every single time you saw Rise with drone control, they were being flooded with bodies. You saw 2 pieces come in, they just couldn't do anything.
And Bance there, pretty much playing as I would have expected him to on the Search and Destroy, putting up big figures. He's known for his slaying power. But we'll get everything adjusted here and get set up. Capture the flag now, Bryce.
It is capture the flag. And I wonder if they're going to be able to take this one. Of course, 3-1 yesterday, meaning that, of course, Rise ended up taking it versus SPLYCE last time around. But last time around, they also took the uplink, so...
Well, I guess we'll have to see, but 3-0 victory against FaZe. Probably still in the back of the minds here. 2 maps under the belt against Rise as well.
This is a very passive, very passive EU CTF map. Like the most ridiculously passive EU CTF map there could be.
Yeah. So we're saying maybe a 1 flag capture is going to determine this?
I don't know. Again, this is the EUNA playstyle. I think if the tempo is raised by Rise, where they're just being very aggressive, very trading, it might force the guys from SPLYCE to jar, or just kind of jar them out of that game time, jar them out of what they're expecting. However, if they end up doing that passive play and end up being very passive on this, although to be honest with you, on this map, SPLYCE have been quite aggressive as well. As far as I'm aware, they're not as passive as you could be on this one. If it was like Marky B or someone you're seeing on this one and Swanee, then yeah, I can 100% agree it would be. By the way, that stock protector's coming fast
away.
They needed that back.
He was very quick on that. I mean, when we had Karma on before, just doing a bit of an interview, they were saying they actually practiced the protect for stock as quick as they could, because...
I guarantee if SPLYCE end up winning this one, Raiders taking away the M8 again. They don't want to face the M8s. But I guarantee if we do see SPLYCE in the final, that's going to come into it again here. You're going to be seeing SPLYCE, and it's basically going to be a ban protect off.
Well, no overdrive either. Overdrive and overclock being taken out of the picture. And concussions, and are we going to see flashbangs, I'm assuming? High Caliber's gone. Not really surprised. As I said this before, I don't think I've ever casted a game where High Caliber hasn't been banned. There we go, rapid fire and flashbang. So the usual culprits making an appearance, but I suppose the important thing to note there was the protect on the stock and the ban on the M8. They're the two key things for that ban and protect.
They certainly are. I mean, we've seen so far that the stock hasn't really been in these games until now, so I'm wondering just how that ends up affecting things here. Right, I said I don't think SPLYCE is going to be too worried about it. They're going to be okay with that stock being in, but they know that probably the Americans are going to suffer more than them.
Just looking at the specialist draft here, and again, exact same as what we're going to see. You can see the sticking to the objective routes in terms of this. The only time that they've actually strayed from this particular setup of specialist class was for the search and destroy.
Well, I said before, I said normally, especially in a lot of games I've been casting recently, you're seeing a lot of specialist bans come in. However, at this tournament, because of, especially in this ban and protect that we've been seeing, it seems like because they're trying to counter-ban each other, it's not just, oh, banning a heatwave or banning an active camo or a kinetic. They're actually going, you know what, we don't worry about that. We're actually more worried about things like stock, things like the M8. We're trying to ban them out and make them play worse, play off kilter. A player's not going to be too worried about a heatwave that comes up every so often. Yeah. More is that when every single gunfight, his gun's different. Like, it's consistently a big change versus, oh, an occasional break.
We can see SPLYCE on the screens there. Bance closest to you, Joe, Josh, and Rated on the far right. That is the final European team left remaining here. All these teams playing in front of you now. Both teams guaranteed a top 4 position.
Yeah.
They are playing for a guaranteed top 2 and for the opportunity to face off against Optic. And I mean, whichever way this swings, we're either going to see the now classic Rise versus Optic rematch that we've seen before, which has been a thrilling series to watch, or we're going to see Europe versus America in a grand final, which hasn't been happening much as of late. We are seeing Americans dominating as usual, really.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been the same story over and over and over again. Although ESWC does occasionally, especially European events, we always tend to see at least one European actually make the final. Whether or not that's going to happen this time, I'm very curious to find out.
Well, here we go. Score streaks are just being punched in. And exciting times as well, I suppose, for competitive Call of Duty. Things really stepping up here. As we've talked about this before, Bryce, it's my very first ESWC. I've absolutely loved the competition. The crowd are incredible. The French fans really get involved. It doesn't matter who's playing on the main stage. They will cheer and cheer. We even got a cheer when we introduced ourselves, Bryce.
Which is surprising, because usually nobody's happy to see you.
Exactly. My mind was blown.
Well, apart from the people around that church with bracelets. But anyway, I think one of the key things is, so I was speaking to some of the European pros last night at the hotel, and we were talking about it, and they said, we were wondering, you know, the CWL, how has that improved you? How has it made us any better? Is that kind of dedicated league with more serious games in it made us better? And they went, you know what, I think it has, because we play a lot more serious games now. So obviously, you know, we don't come to events as often, but we are having to play week in, week out, and we know how important it can be. So the league is very, very competitive in Europe, and probably the most competitive league that they've had in years. And that has meant that they actually have to really concentrate on their games. They practice, they prep, they're ready for it, they're up every single time at the same time. And it has, in my opinion, escalated EU above what it was previously. I still think, on the whole, North America is better, but I don't think the gap is as big.
Okay, well, it could all be settled here. If SPLYCE can take this round away, they will advance to the grand finals, but Rise trying their best to hang on against this tough European side.
Well, on board with Josh to begin with. They are being aggressive to begin with. They've only left Bance behind. They're going straight in for this. He's trying to shoot through his teammate. Ends up can't get through the smoke, but Josh is still being aggressive. Actually ends up losing that to Looney.
We can see now Rise trying to carve the way through SPLYCE. SPLYCE having to do a bit of defensive work. Bance just on hold. And just flicking through the actual gun selections, it's a direct mirror matchup between these two teams. Exactly the same guns either side. 2 VMPs, an XR2 and a Man of War.
Speaking of XR2, Octane trying to make that long-range shot. Not quite able to. A lot of shots going down. Still not being able to convert it. But right now, they're being pinned in. We've not seen an awful lot, actually, out of this team from Rise so far. They've been kind of defending. in this first minute of the game, and he's just going to play go past. SPLYCE being patient. Has called that out to his teammates, of course.
Yeah, they just look at that. Respawn. He waited for the right moment. Very clever play there by SPLYCE, and great teamwork for Rise to hold off that push. And Joe here, he's barking up the wrong tree. No one is pushing that way.
Joe, though, now going to look for a peek. There is a player watching. It's Octane. Knows that Joe is there, and now Joe has to get through a choke point against an XR2. Tries to throw out the smoke.
Oh, and it could actually work for him. Joe being very, very sneaky
he got
indeed.
It. However, I think it's going to be a pull from both sides.
Oh, this could be big. Joe actually going right down the middle. Oh, they're going to match. Vance picked up the kill. Flag is going to be collected by SPLYCE. Ready trying to track back and find it.
They're hunting him. It's going to be Josh.
Josh has got to stay alive. This is very important for SPLYCE now. If Josh falls, so too will Joe. They've surrounded them, and Rise are going to make them crumble.
Joe made it. Joe made it. He's trying to get away. Desperately, he's surrounded. 3 players. He's trying to get through again.
Wow.
Has managed to. His teammates really need to back him up. He's being shot from behind. Not quite able to get it. Still dipping away. Still trying to turn him back.
My goodness.
Oh, they've got it. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be the return. And somehow they get away with it. Joe just turned and barreled with a flag. And they're now winding up. And here comes the relay.
Absolutely incredible. Joe, a masterclass there. Ducking and diving between, somehow stayed alive. The teammates were in support. The relay is on. It's completely open. And there is nobody that can stop Vance here now. Vance is running it the whole way. And that is going to be 2-0 now to SPLYCE.
Unbelievable. SPLYCE turned it around, and they're going for it again. Josh is on the hunt. He will pick up this flag once more, and he is going to get shut down. And now we should be a little bit calming down as we do see players start to get it. And he's going to get a heatwave though. Gets one, looks for the second heatwave in reply. He cannot turn. Double heatwave coming in there, but he almost had it. But here come Rise.
Oh my goodness. SPLYCE really do take advantage of any little opportunity they get, don't they?
They certainly do, but 2-0 now, and this is not how we're expecting this game to start.
Well, Rise now, the pressure mounting for them. They do have a lot to do here, and they are going up against score streaks. We can see Joe's got the lightning strike and Hellstorm missile unlocked, and they're going to be devastating defense. Yeah, absolutely.
Active camo has been used. They're actually going to try and push him out here. He's going to get taken down. Hellstorm coming in, but not in the right area. Oh, Vance has managed to pop that kinetic, but it is still away. They are still chasing.
Here we go. This is big for Rise now. Flag has been pulled. SPLYCE's got it in hand. He should be able to run this all the way. Joe will be the only man that can stop this. Oh, Rise going to be able to get one of their own.
I think so. I think it's going to be enough. It's going to go in. It's 2-1 now. They have managed to get that flag back. Big plays coming in from them. Just weren't able to lock it down. We actually saw a streak come in there. It must have been Joe, but he completely fluffed it.
And that was massive from Rise to actually collect that. We saw them just slowing, the pace completely slowed down and dictated by SPLYCE, but Rise managed to open them up, collect a flag of their own, and they've got SPLYCE a little bit nervous as Rise are continuing to storm through. Radiant's going to have to hold on. A lot of questions being asked, but Classic completely shutting them down, and the flag's been pulled again.
Rise are really rallying here. They have managed to get another one. They're trying to get these kills through. Josh is trying to push through at the same time. It's basically all down on Josh. Lightning strike coming in as well. They have managed to slow this flag down at least a little bit. Active camo being popped now. Can he make this first kill? No! Unbelievable. Got shut down even with the active camo. Joe is going to try and counterpull this. And he has managed to. Kills coming in. He's going to come through. Joe, surely not. No.
Wow.
He's going to get shut down. Vance is going to try and do his best, but it's not going to be enough. It's tied up. And after such a big play from SPLYCE in the first half, they're going to get it, and that Vance gets 2. But he's not going to get anywhere with this.
And Joe there could have made a huge mark on this game again if he'd have managed to get that return. Narrowly, Rise managed to shut him down just beforehand, and it does mean that we go into the second side on a 2-2 tie. Moments of brilliance from either side of the main stage here.
Well, Rise capitalised there. They managed to keep pushing through the flank, and you did see, you know, Radiant just wasn't able to hold it down in the back. Maybe switching out from a Man of Order on XR2 would be better in that scenario. It wasn't able to hold it steady enough. And it just seems like Rise were just able to capitalise on that several times. Made the kills in mid-map. But after a fantastic play by SPLYCE and the relay, Rise looked dominant for the rest of the game.
HXD in hand, and just due to the pace of this game, I mean, we were saying before this started, Bryce, it's probably going to be slow pace, particularly on this map. Not been the case at all. I don't think there's going to be an opportunity to use a HCXD at the pace this is going.
Here we go. Classic trying to get for a push here. He's going to get shut down. Now, which way are they going to go for this one? Vance is going to be trying to make a few picks. Got one. He's going to be shut down. Looney got that one as well. Has a heat wave and the HCXD. Can they make this push? Actually, the other side, Joe's going to try now get this flag. It's going to be Classic that comes around and tries to shut it down. He's going to see Joe as well. Does manage to pick him off. Great shot by Classic. It's going to be Josh actually left alone, but it's just a sea of Rise around him.
And that was a big mistake by Josh there. Classic, again, going big for his team. Classic's been making some excellent pickups so far. And I think that was partly the reason, or the major reason, really, that's allowed Rise to get back into this game.
Oh, it looks like you're going to see one here, and he is going to be able to take it down. They're now looking for push. Looney going through, has a heatwave as well. He is going to go down regardless. Slack actually comes through to try and trade this one. And he does get that trade at the same time. Pressure now coming on. Splyce are going to be under the gun. HCXD coming in as well. They're going to try to take that out early, and they do. They're going to know that they're there, but look at this. Trying to get, oh, what a shot. Slack does get that one, but there's still too many bodies here for them, realistically, for him to take on.
He's going to give it his best shot, though.
So, from both sides, Looney's trying to get that cut. He's got one, he gets on the flank, not able to get the second. Slack tries to stay alive here.
Slack has just pinned them in. This is great work by Slack. He's just waiting for reinforcements. Rated trying to push out a spawn, trying to get some control on this game, and Rated again finds Classic.
Well, this game has been anything but passive from both teams. Josh has hit the flank, and I think Rise are wise to it. They know that somebody's going to be there. Now, Josh is actually looking towards back. That's where you expect these players to be. Sees one. Doesn't actually get it either.
Looney there manages to get the better of him. And a lot of the specialist classes now.
Did Octane just fall off? He did.
He did. Specialist classes ready to go in play. 2 go down. It's going to be a third. No, it's not. Things are starting to slow down. Tensions are rising. One flag capture could separate this.
Big kill there from Looney. Actually, just trying to shut down this pressure. I think a Tempest come out. Massive second kill from Looney.
And Looney there just destroys Rated with a Tempest as well.
And Splyce will be sitting there going, that's a wasted opportunity. We use the specialist. Should have really got something from it. Oh my goodness, Vance. Cutting it open now. Joe has one player to beat. He has a heatwave. He's going to use the smokes. Oh, he's going to try it. No, he was going to try the challenge, but as soon as he came out of that smoke, it was too late. If it was kinetic, there may have been a different story.
Gotta say, this one's looking quite good for Rise now. Just keep peering over to that mini-map. They do seem to be getting set up quite well. And Splyce are just looking for one opportunity to break. We've said any little advantage that they get, any opportunity, they will take it and they will run with it. But this is some great metagame here being displayed by Rise.
Looney's 20 and 14 at the moment. Has been putting in the work, has a heatwave as well. He's going to try and make it as he is. He's going to go for one, has managed to get it. They've cleaned their lines. Here comes the push from Rise. Looking to make everything they can of it. Slack actually going to sit bottom mansion. Classic is going through mid. He's actually popped his active camo to try and make this. Sees one player, surely he's going to be traded out here. He is going to go down, even though he managed to touch that flag briefly.
Pressure is on, though, for Splyce. If Rise can collect a few kills here, it's going to be bad news. Who's this sneaking right round the back?
Joe has gone for a
Joe,
flank.
What are you up to?
They're not guarding him either.
They've completely committed to a push.
This will either go brilliantly or awfully. A flag is about to be pulled here. Side has come out as well. Josh managed to take it down. It's basically Bance to defend. Bance gets one. Bance needs a second. Bance gets a second as well. Bance is looking for the third. Oh, not quite able to get it. But Raiden is now coming in, desperately trying to make this shot over the top. They've pinned in this player. They've got the flag back as well. He has to stay alive. Surely he is. He's doing
Classic.
so well. Classic is doing everything he can. He does go down. Joe is going to be on the flag. Looking for it. They have to get the return. Joe is going to go down at the same time. Bance is trying to stay alive. They've got this. It's now out by Octane. Octane's going to run this one away, and it may have gone in Rise's favour. They just weren't able to make the kills.
Vance almost with a 3-piece to go clutch. Octane could take this. Rise could run away with it in a 9 seconds. Oh, Splyce going to be able to stop it. Well, they found 2. They're trying to run all the way. The heatwave's been activated. This is bad news. The flag's almost there.
It is, but it's going to be pinned. No, it's going to go down. I think that's it. Yes, it is. Has been done in the last few seconds. Bance is pulling away though, and he has to do so much work. It's not going to happen. We're going to map 5. Rise in the dying seconds managed to clutch up, and that is going to be all she wrote.
Absolutely unbelievable. That was Splyce's game when Bance picked up the 2 and emptied some shots into the 3rd. If he'd have picked that 1v3 up, that was a guaranteed Splyce victory. They had the flag. They brought it all the way back, and it could have ended now 3-1. But Rise just outclassed them. The slaying came into place right in the dying moments, and literally with seconds to spare, Splyce were unable to stop that pull.
just ridiculous. I mean, you've got to give credit there to Rise. They really started just turning that game around. And I think one of the key things people should notice is that SPLYCE, they had a lot of map control to begin with. And then they went back on that playstyle of 3 hanging back and were sending 1 out, and they kept trying to defend. There was only big plays that kind of killed them for as long as they could. That last play coming down, classic. It was all classic. He stayed alive. That's all he had to do. He just kept alive for so long. And you even saw, you know, he managed to get the kills out. Joe had to go and try and get the return. And, you know, he had the flag. He's sitting there going like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go to Orange Van.
Classic didn't do all that much other than conceal himself, but it was so crucial he stayed alive. If he'd have gone down, that would have been it. So massive plays from him. The teammates flooded in.
I think Bant's going to be upset. I'm fairly certain one more bullet and he would have got that player off his car, and that would have been a different story. But it is not to be. We are going to a map number 5. These two teams are 2-2 at the moment. And right now, anything could happen.
And what I would say about that game is, in my opinion, Rise did deserve it, regardless of the end scoreline, just because...
I think so. There was a big play. You're right.
Apart from that final positioning that SPLYCE had where it looked like they might get that flag capture, the only time they actually really had any big signs of getting some points on the scoreboard was when they got the 2. They were the 2 big attempts that they got, and it was just completely
What
off.
a 2, though.
Well, this was it.
That turn and burn on Joe with the flag to clutch and put it in.
Absolutely. But with the exception of the minute of brilliance that was shown there, the rest of the time it was Rise who were the stronger team. So Rise the worthy winners, in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. I do think that ended up shifting into looking like Rise with a dominant squad. We saw a few moments of brilliance from the guys on SPLYCE. They tried to get it out a few times, they just weren't really able to. And I think that's because they hung back a little bit. You saw like Bance was holding back, Raider was holding back, and I'm wondering, you know, if there was a little bit more force there, a little bit more slaying, considering how Bance was playing again, it may have gone a different way. But unfortunately, they kind of laid back. I mean, how many times do we see a stack in Mansion? They pushed them, they completely broke them. I mean, like I said, 1 bullet from Bance that ended, killed that player off the car. They would have had a free run and got it home. But that wasn't how it played out.
Well, it's going to be map number 5. It's going to be the second Search and Destroy played out here on Fringe. We've seen 1 Search and Destroy between these two teams so far, and it didn't end nicely for Rise at all.
No, it didn't. But that isn't Hunted. It is now going to be Fringe. It's going to be Fringe, Search and Destroy. And I said, Hunted, you know, we didn't think it was going to be great for Rise, and it wasn't.
And I've got to say, I mean, I'm trying to still just calm down a little bit from that Capture the Flag. That is how Capture the Flag should be played. It's so entertaining to watch, and you can see it works. I mean, you could see the big pushes being made. There was huge clutches being made at either side of the playing field. A joy to watch. I'm sure you guys back home were enjoying that as much as we were, and it's always great to see games like this go down to the wire.
Oh, most certainly. I mean, it's just been so great there. I mean, Joe was trying to make individual plays by himself, and like I said, that flagpole come out of it. He was making clutch plays as well. But Rise, they had the better tactics. That, you know, they basically had to keep making kills, SPLYCE, if they wanted to stay in the game. Whereas Rise just had to keep the pressure on. If they lost a round of kills, they spawned back. Yeah. By the time they'd actually caught up to them and come out of their base, they'd already spawned back. So basically, they were hoping that Joe made another God play, which is how that first 2 went in. Yeah. And then hoping that would happen again, and it didn't. And, you know, 8 more minutes, nothing worked right, but for 2 minutes it did. You can't only have a 2-minute strategy.
And one thing I just want to highlight, because I think this is so undervalued sometimes, is the money that's on the line here, because this is the difference between this single Search and Destroy game now is going to determine what will be either a guaranteed $4,000 or a guaranteed $10,000, which then could be more. So $1,500 for 1 game of Search and Destroy. I get nervous playing public games online. These are in front of a crowd of maybe 3,000 to 5,000. And look at this, straight away, the stock from Slacked.
Slack says, I need that. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Overkill has gone, though. So that reduces the chances of seeing any sniper rifle play. They will be unable to swap to a second primary. Well, usual suspects are gone.
They are, so double tack. Luna's taking out 1. I wonder if Classic's going to... Please remember to ban rapid fire here. I'm wondering if they're playing chicken with each other. I think it's interesting because in this scenario, both... There we go. Classic says, no. I'll do it then. I think Ray was waiting to see whether or not he banned it, but there we go. HCXD taken out. So nothing really changing there with that last ban. Fairly familiar from them. Saw a lot of HCXDs actually in the previous game, so just don't take it out for this one.
Yeah, and I mean with the HCXDs, of course they do feature in the non-S&D game types, but I feel like they're the most important in Search and Destroy. So that's actually quite a big ban. You know, it's the easiest to achieve score streak in competitive play. It's one that pretty much all the players would have selected. Now look at the specialist classes. Octane has gone for Vision Pulse. We are seeing some variation between the teams here. So that's the first time we've seen Vision Pulse being played out by Rise in this semi-final.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's only one difference either side here, which is
Overdrive.
Yeah, going to be Vision Pulse and Overdrive. I mean, me personally, I prefer the Vision Pulse, but it completely depends how you're going to play the game out. Vision Pulse, maybe a bit more slower play, took yourself away a little bit, pop the Vision Pulse, and then you've got a good idea on the game. Overdrive, well, it's self-explanatory. You've just got to charge as fast as you can.
You just got to charge as fast as you can. Just run.
That's it. Just run till your heart's content. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be very difficult to call because I don't think we can solely base our predictions just off what we saw on Hunted Search and Destroy.
Right. But fortunately, we have a great resource at hand. Some wonderful people watching this game. So if you are listening, if you are watching this, ready for map number 5, hashtag ESWC. Who is going to win? Is it going to be SPLYCE or is it going to be Rise? You can tag us in as well. It's at Brycetacular and at @all_wits. Please let us know. We are watching and waiting. For me, I am reserving judgment as anything could happen in map 5.
I think this is going down to round 11, you know. I know that's a very easy prediction to make, but I can just see it. The way that these games have been going so far, it's just been neck and neck all the way. And we will certainly be seeing a close one. That is for sure. I mean, we are seeing a few comments popping up. A lot of people very, very excited to see how this Search and Destroy is going to play out because there's so much story behind this as well. You know, this isn't just for a spot in the grand final. It's a spot to have the chance for either Rise to get their rematch against Optic from the CWL finals. It's the opportunity for a European team to try and take Optic toe-to-toe. So much riding on this.
There really is. I think realistically, you've got to say the pressure is now on for SPLYCE. They've already lost this series once.
Oh yeah.
And but I mean, the bonus for them is S&D. They got to be sitting there going, S&D with them 6-1. But that was I said 100 Fringe are such different animals.
And I've got to say that quite obviously there was one key player for that 6-1 victory, and that was Rated. Now we've talked about the team being good at Search and Destroy, but as an individual he excels with Search and Destroy. Very known in the European community. Even during his entry into competitive Call of Duty he's been a Search and Destroy star, and he's really got to maintain that high level of form. If Rise can shut down Rated, SPLYCE are going to be in trouble.
Well, we're going to jump on board with the attacking team, and that attacking team is going to be SPLYCE to begin with. Let's have a little look how Bance is going to play this one. He is going to be rocking that SVG.
There we go, and here we go. It's the final map between SPLYCE and Rise to determine who will advance into the grand finals and challenge Optic Gaming to be champion of ESWC.
He's got really aggressive on the defense, but Joe actually ends up coming on top and gets away. Advantage in the first round to SPLYCE.
It's a good start. Nerves must be brimming here. The crowd has swelled. They're cheering this on as Bance shuts down Octane with a snipe.
Does manage to get it as well. Classic though is going to be on the flank, and he actually gets that wall run and hits it. Joe though, look at this. Joe's being super aggressive, picks it off. It's now Classic in a 1 versus 3.
Joe's style of play, much like Peter's, sometimes a man on a mission.
And Classic clutch this up.
Well, bomb is being planted. Classic should surely know that's going to be the case. Now this is going to be difficult. He's just going to take his time here.
Bance said, hey buddy.
Back off.
Take a look at this and wait for the flash.
All entry points have been covered now by SPLYCE. This is going to be very difficult for Classic. He's emptying shots, but he's been unable to connect. Classic knows that there's a player up there. Oh, and time is just ticking away. This is bad news for Rise.
Now, where's Classic Bance again? He's just taking shots at everybody, but he's not able to convert, and Bance will shut him down. 1-0 to SPLYCE in this Search and Destroy.
You can see there, every time between maps, you see Bance do that same action with his hands. It's quite funny to witness, but as we say, nerves must be brimming here. A lot riding on this. And that is going to be quite a clear victory for SPLYCE. I mean, they just kind of picked off Rise one by one. Made it a 1 versus 3, and there was really no hope after that bomb plant went down.
Certainly wasn't. However, let's go on to the attack with the opposite side. It's Octane. Octane's actually going very aggressive. It's a big A push coming in, so Bance is about to have players running in on him.
He's got to be careful here. Bance didn't do all that well on the first Search and Destroy. Underperformed on Hunted.
trying to get that peak. He knows the player's there. They're actually backing off and bringing in reinforcement. Josh is going to hit the wall run. Sees one, not able to connect.
Classic did actually shut down Bance in that encounter now. Great news for Rise. Looney does have that bomb on hand. They are definitely committing towards A. Just seems like there's absolutely no chance of a rotation here, especially with Josh on the cutoff.
Yeah, Josh is holding that bomb down as well. They're trying to make it. They may actually force Joe. They are going to force Joe. Joe is going to go down. And so is Josh. It's now rated in a 1 versus 4. Make that a 1 versus 3. Make that a 1 versus 2.
Rated, definitely the man of the hour. 1v2. He's weak though. He's got to be careful. He comes head to head.
He's
up against both of them. And Octane betters him there. Even if he had have shut down Octane, great play from Rise. Buddied up and made sure that they get the trade off. And Rise take a round for themselves. Tie things up 1-1.
Well, Rated tries to turn the game around but can't. And there is a big play coming in from Rise. They pushed A aggressively, managed to hold it, refused to actually approach the bomb until they got significant numbers on the team of SPLYCE. But SPLYCE on the attack once again. Out comes the sniper rifle once more for Bance.
And again, a very one-sided defensive victory there. Let's have a look and see what's going to happen.
Tries to just tear the cheek off of that player.
I do apologise, attacking victory. It's been a long day, Bryce. Still trying to calm down from the capture of the flag. But
speaking of calming down, this game certainly has.
Let's see if the attacks are going to be prominent here then on Fringe. Board with Joe now.
Just trying to peek. It's very, very slow gameplay here from SPLYCE. They need a pick, and that's what they're waiting for. Rated is pre-aiming, that's what he's trying to get. Still, they are in mid-streak, so they're in a little bit of a bad position here, especially if a collapse comes in, which is what it looks like. Classic is trying to get it, and Classic is going to pick up that first kill as well. It's a bad position now for the guys on SPLYCE. They're going to have to get away. Another kill goes down, another kill goes down. It's now Bance in a 1 versus 3. Bance gets one. Bance gets the second! I don't know if he's got enough time. This is now a 1 versus 2. Will be 1 versus 4 if he makes it.
Wow, electrifying play there by Bance, but as we say, time certainly against him. Great setup by Rise, and they take another round. Rise now in the lead.
Unbelievable. It just seems like SPLYCE were in a bad position. If they made a pick mid or they managed to get somewhere, then they could have made something. But as soon as they collapsed, as soon as it was peaked out and that gunfight went down, Classic moved through. Looney had hardware. It was like you've got nowhere to go. You're just surrounded by great fire points on all sides. What is known as the kill zone.
Already Rise with more rounds under the belt than the previous Search and Destroy, and it's kind of really proves the point that Hunted can just be a bit of an enigma when it comes to S&D.
Oh, here we go again.
And it looks like, again, very slow play. Teams don't want to commit now. Rise really holding back.
Yeah, this is a tactic that we see over and over again. Just need information, and we need a kill. The issue, the only drawback to this, is that you burn a lot of time.
Yeah, SPLYCE, I think they're just trying to lure SPLYCE out and hoping SPLYCE take a chance, but they're set up fast. Bance, their Classic did really well to actually pop a shot off on him, but Bance just in such a good position. In great control of this area now.
Starting to burn time now. Bance knows where he is, tries to get him, gets 2 wall bangs. Not quite enough, though. Now they're going to try and make a mid push. 30 seconds left to go. They have to commit now. Unfortunately, that mid, if they can't break out of it, and they're going to see a player there. Slack needs to take him on. No specialist here. He's probably praying, yeah, connect up at this time.
Time's going to be played.
He's going to get it. And if he gets his bomb down, it will actually change it a little bit.
Surely they know.
Bance is trying to get round. He's going to see 2. Bance is going to see him. He's going to get 1 at least. Got the did they plant it? They did plant it. They did plant it.
But it's 1 versus 4 now. Octane.
Oh, Octane is in a position. Oh, he's not anymore.
And Rated manages to find him, which means it is going to be 2-2. And straight away, SPLYCE answer right back.
Bance is going off this time.
Rated enjoys a tour of Fringe whilst that bomb is getting defused. 2-2 now, the scoreline. Bryce, it's going to happen. We're going to round 11. I can see it. This is just going back into neither team able to get that commanding lead that they so desperately want here. But what's quite interesting is each round victory has been quite decisive. I mean, we saw Rated making a fair attempt at pulling off a 1 versus 4, but even looking at that objectively, it was still going towards Rise.
Right. Well, Well, here we go. SPLYCE on the attack this time, and Bance is not going to have it. So this is an aggressive B push. Although even then, they usually take Bance has a sniper to try and hit back Rock.
There we go.
There we go. There's the sniper to hit back Rock.
He sees one.
Not good enough.
Needs to be careful low here now because he did take damage. And
massive wall run here, waiting for that player to drop out the back. Wall hang coming in. Has got the afterburner, so it will stay up here forever.
Oh, this is very clever play from SPLYCE. I absolutely love it. They're not going to be expecting it. He's going to rain fire from above.
He's still wall hanging. You can see him on the mini-map going back and forth. But he's been called out, and he is still going to end up losing that one. But it has been traded away.
Oh, Joe read the play so well. He knows that there's somebody down there.
Trying to get in there. He is going to get in, but he's going to be challenged. He jumps over the top.
Joe really confused there. Josh managed to clean up against Looney. Octane's all on his own. 1 versus 2 now. Octane again left last alive.
And he's going to be surprised when this bomb goes down at A.
He was not expecting that at all. He's probably going to be caught off guard if he throws himself out of that window.
He is. Look at this. Josh is
knows
ready.
He's there. Josh knows he's there. Octane's got to be careful.
Oh, he's seen him as well. He's called it out. She said, Joe, I've just seen him cross.
There we go.
He's now back alley. And Octane.
How's Josh going to play this?
They're going to play it very, very slow. Someone will peek. But look at this. They're waiting.
They don't want to go for the challenge.
Oh, Josh knows. Josh knows because he went back alley. He has to come through that doorway.
This is tense now. He's got to make a move on this bomb site very soon. Time is being played brilliantly here.
They can now throw one player in and wait. There you go. They're going to wait. It doesn't matter. That's exactly what they had to do. Beastman doesn't care. Beastman's fine.
And it's been cleaned up.
Perfect play. Perfect play. Josh got the information. They called it out. They played really passive. They knew he had to come through the door.
I was so nervous for Octane there. I actually thought he might be able to pull that off, you know.
Well, in that scenario, like I said, Joe can peek. And the reason Joe can peek is even if you die at 12, like, as soon as it goes below, what, 14, you can peek. Because you're like, well, he's not defusing. That's fine. That means I can now come in at 7.5 and wreck you up.
There we go. And so they played it outright. Textbook stuff there from SPLYCE to close out that round. SPLYCE now regained the lead. And here we see the train push. We do have a player sat back behind Rock. Fairly standard fringe S&D so far. Classic takes a lot of damage there.
They're seeing back Rock rated. They are raining onto him. They really want to make this.
Oh, Classic having a really tough time.
Right, they really don't want to engage. No. Rotation though, by the look of it.
Held off by one single player.
Has anybody got eyes on mid?
Well, it's Josh. Might be difficult with that VMP to go for the long burst.
Oh, they're setting up. They're ready. Look at this. Joe's ready. They're aware. So there's no more pressure. Rotated back. Trying to stay alive.
Looney, sneaky. Somehow still alive.
This one might actually get A control here.
It's crazy to think this is still a 4 versus 4 now, Bryce.
It is. So many shots gone down. That bomb should now go down.
And it does. And Rise have done so well there. I mean, that was looking like SPLYCE's round, to be honest. Dictating the play right from the start. Rated has found Classic, though. Numerical advantage goes towards SPLYCE.
It does. Wait for this one. Oh, he's going to see 2 there, Looney. Looney, surely no. Only gets 1. Josh is equal to it.
I believe Josh just managed to pull that off.
Looking for these players
he
now.
Must know.
Josh does.
Oh,
timing.
timing.
Octane's alone. Octane is all on his own. He's now in a 1 versus 2. Raider's actually going to go for the defuse. He's been challenged. He's going to get away, surely. And that's going to be enough time. Raider can do, no, Joe can do absolutely nothing against this.
Wow. And Octane goes big for Rise.
Octane with the clutch. Had to hold it off. Raider jumps out to try and put the pressure on. Bomb was planted in a clever position as well. And Octane knew all he had to do was peek.
And Josh there, victim of the worst kind of COD timing, you've got to say.
Yeah.
But great from Octane. I mean, again, when you have the numbers against you, there's a certain way you've got it. You can't go for the challenges. You have to be very clever in your approach. You've got to work the time.
Both teams proving exactly why they have got to this point.
Let's see what's going to happen now, because we are seeing the specialists getting unlocked. It's going to be kinetic armor for Bance. Ooh, and he's going to make that call.
Josh has already got a kill though. Josh has really pushed forward. Look at Josh. Used that overdrive and went for it. We're watching Bance for that sniper play, but Josh took full advantage. He is going to be vision pulsed here.
Call will have been made. Crowd on the feet here, really rallying the troops.
Bance is still on Overwatch as well. He's actually watching the flank. Raided is now got his active camo on.
There's been some great movement either side of the main stage here. Joe manages to clean up against Looney. Raiden takes out Classic.
Oh, there we go. They get him 4-3 now to Splyce. And it's still going back to back.
I don't think I'm going to be able to take this. If this does go 5-5, Bryce, I'm nervous watching this. And that's for both teams. Wow, what a game. Incredible spectacle here at ESWC. SPLYCE now leading 4-3 against Rise. This is the final map of the best of 5 series to determine who advances to the grand final and faces Optic Gaming.
Well, let's see how they're going to play this. It looks like another A push. They have got active camo and heatwave, so I imagine active camo may come in to play. There it is. Team 1, down he goes. Specialist burn. Kinetic been beat by Bant. Second player going down. Oh, third player going down. Bant says thank you. Can he get the 5th? Can he get the 4th? Sorry, no. Joe gets it. They get a single kill there. The players just coming in. 5-3 to Splyce. Specialist burn from both sides. There you go. You can see this is the final kill cam. Joe ended up picking that one up.
Really cleaning things up there. Bant's going massive though. And you just heard the crowd, every kill, a huge cheer, just getting louder and louder.
And you hear the crowd are really hyped up for this one.
But Rise are not out of this yet. We've seen them come back on the uplink. Gave it the best shot. It was a capture the flag. They came back and took the victory. Can they do it now on Search and Destroy? SPLYCE have the safety cushion.
Bant's actually switching to the MA, and he's going to be watching the flank. There you go, Bant's managed to get a kill here. Are they going to push or not? Doesn't look like they are. They're trying to make that again.
Pace of the game has been really slowed down now.
Bant is watching again. He knows there's a player coming. Oh, that's a gunfight.
And Classic gets first blood against Josh. This is big news for Rise.
Still peeking, still going on here. Joe answers back.
3 versus 3.
Joe's actually inside. He's
Here's
trying to
the
make
engagement.
a play.
This is it, Bryce. They're all going to come head to head. It's going to be a massacre. Joe comes down on top.
Oh, that's going to go down though. Bant's left. Oh, he goes down. There's no Raiden in a 1 versus 2. Raiden was so influential in that first Search and Destroy. Can he be the hero they need now? 27 seconds. He does have control of bomb. He's just looking for a player.
It's whether he goes for the plant or he's going to go for the kills. That's the big question here, Bryce.
And they're now going to peek bomb. Just looking for it. He's going to find one. Well, this player's behind him. He's not challenged him. Slack's not challenged him.
Slack doesn't know. Slack's nervous. The bomb plant is going to go down.
Oh, he knows now.
Got it.
He knows now.
Surely, and there we go, and Rise
it.
still in this game. Rise fighting back as Slack wins the 1 versus 1. Raiden had to go for the plan. He had absolutely no option other than to do that, knowing that he had that bomb in hand. He didn't want to go for the challenge.
Yeah. You think about it, 1 step to the right, wouldn't be able to see him. May have gone differently.
I think that bomb would have still been checked, you know. I think Slack, one way or another, that round was going towards Rise. Oh, and our SPLYCE gonna let this slip. Our Rise gonna reign supreme. 2 rounds on the bounce they need now. They've got the momentum.
They've got 2 going mid. Very aggressive. They're going to try and make this one here. It's been called out though. They've been slowed down. Beastball gets the first one. Good old Josh holding it for his team. Calm under pressure when they needed him. And now they have the numbers. And, oh no, that's right. No, was that the heat wave? I think the heat wave is gone.
Let's have a look and see what's going on. Numbers going towards SPLYCE there. We see shots being fired. Classic unable to connect to make the kill. Only a few bullets got emptied. And time taken away here. Rise have got to commit. They're going to have to make a move soon.
Here they come.
SPLYCE
here they come.
Are set up very firmly.
Bant is in a position they're not really going to expect him in as well.
Smart play.
Here it comes. Joe's already got one. Bant is ready for it as well. It's now all down to Octane and Slack. They've got 30 seconds to try and win this as they come through. Here comes Slack. Slack's going to get one. Has managed to get that one and now going to push it away. It looks like it might actually be given up here. I think they're watching the door. They are. Josh is going to have door. They're going to push right round.
They've got to be really
big plays. Oh, they're pinned in. Time is dipping away. Slowly but surely, it's now 1 versus 3. Slack has everything to do in 10 seconds. I don't think he can do it. And down he goes. And SPLYCE have kept the European dream alive. They are going to the grand final. That's top 2 for this team. Optic Gaming versus SPLYCE will be the grand final here at ESWC. And what a game from SPLYCE. S&D will win you championships, but will it win them this one?
Absolutely incredible, and what a series to